Good morning. So, last night was a little up and down. Still dealing with my sleep. And I'm actually bringing it up because today I'm going to the Arthritis Society specifically to go to a workshop on sleep. My alarm's been going off since about 7:30 and it's now 8:30 and I'm only moving because I know I really have to, but yeah, let's see what information I have that I can apply to tonight. So hopefully I get a little more sleep or at least wake up rested. Um, so I am leaving the Arthritis Society right now. I went to the um, sleep workshop. Um, had a snag, had to leave early. It seems that the issues I was dealing with yesterday, the shaking, the random pains, all of those good things are kicking in again today. And that is because your body, my body, sometimes will take 2 or 3 days to um, recuperate. So, as much as I went home yesterday, it was so draining on my body that spending an hour and a half out of a 2 hour workshop has kind of started setting me off. So I'm heading back home, and I have now pretty much had to cancel all of my remaining appointments for the evening, except for one, which is extremely crucial. So the last video was me kind of leaving early from the Arthritis Society because I was having pain. Literally, the places that I had pain yesterday and some new places started showing up. I was getting it in my foot, like the bottom of my foot. I was getting it in my calves. I was getting it along my LT, in my hips, under my buttocks, both my arms. I know that my body is going downhill when these three suckers start tingling. So when that happened, it was um, a situation where I needed to advocate for myself. I needed to excuse myself. Um, the support groups that I'm in and online or that I've been to, or one of the conversations that a lot of the people have is, how do I advocate for myself? How do I tell my family and friends that something's going on? The fact of the matter is, it really has to be just that blunt. I'm sorry. Um, when we're in pain, it's not visible. They can't tell. I can't, it's not like if I cut myself, I'm bleeding and someone says you need a band-aid. The only way someone will know that something's going on is if we speak about it. I know that there are some of you out there that grin and bear it and keep it to yourself, but I think the more and more that you start acknowledging what your pain is like or when you're having your pain, it might help. I'm not going to say that's for everybody because everybody has a different story. Everybody's support system is different, and you need to figure out what is the best way to advocate for yourself. Because the pain from yesterday was coming back up, I knew I had to get myself in a position, in an environment, or I needed to begin the steps to ensure that I was going to alleviate and reduce my pain. When the pain started, I would stand up, I would walk around, I would push the trigger points, I would massage the area, but the pain continued to grow, which meant I needed to do something, and that was excuse myself. The pain takes energy from you. And I was in so much pain that I passed out. I think I must have slept for 2, 3 hours. That, funny enough, is in contradiction to some of the things I learned today and have been learning, because they like to say that, if you take more than a 20-minute nap, that can interfere with your sleep cycle. And it's true. So with me getting up at this time, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people know this, if you take that nap too late in the day, it's hard to get to bed at night. So I know that tonight there's 100% chance I have to take a sleeping pill just so that my sleeping cycle might maintain itself. Um, so that's something I have to do. Another reason why I have to, I'm trying to be so proactive specifically right now is because I have an event coming up this weekend. I get to minister with my compassion ministry, and I need energy for it. My fibro fighters know this. Um, Although I might have a special day, doesn't matter what it could be. It could be just me having an outing with my family. If I knowingly have a full day of events or activities, I have to start prepping my body 3 to 4 days in advance, meaning I have to make sure I get the most amount of nutrients. I have to eat properly. I have to get my water in. I have to sleep. I have to really, really try to make sure I get as much sleep. You're not really going to see my face too much because I want to show you something, but I'm going to show you an exhibit. This is my body. The water is my energy. So here we go. Let's say I've got a lot of energy. We're going to start off and say I start the week, I have lots of energy. This is great. Okay. But then I go grocery shopping. That takes something out of it. And grocery shopping, again, doesn't mean me taking a lot of stuff. It means me just getting my fruits and my vegetables. Then I have a doctor's appointment. Take a little bit more. Then I work out and exercise because I have to work out and exercise in order to maintain myself. Okay, this is Monday. I go to sleep. I'm having pain and I go to sleep. Normally, you think that when you go to sleep, you would come back and have a lot. But that's not what happens with fibromyalgia. See how little it's draining? That's how it comes back in. So now Tuesday starts. If you notice, I don't have as much energy as I did before. So Tuesday comes along, and let's say something happened that's very overwhelming and very draining. Let's say I have another appointment, and my appointment is, for example, tomorrow, I have to drive an hour to my doctor's appointment. So being in the car, going to the doctor's appointment, coming back, letting a doctor push and prong and set off all those triggers, okay. I'm losing energy again. Let's say I come home or I go and hang out with a friend and rest a little bit. It's Tuesday. I don't have the energy that I had before. A lot of times people will assume that when we rest, our energy comes right back up to where it used to be. That's not what we deal with. Energy for us is very slow. It's really slow. I need you guys to understand this. When I have a very bad day, which was yesterday, if you watch my video with the doctor's appointments and the emotional stress and everything else I was going through, I had such a rough day on my body that as much as I slept last night, the energy is not coming back, which is why I was having difficulty again today. And so I had to come home and have another sleep in order to replenish myself. But it can take 2 to 3 days of resting and doing minimal work to get me back to where I was when I first started at the beginning of the week. I show you this example because we need to stop the stigma of what it means for someone to, when you think that someone is okay, well, you slept, you should be. No. Even when we do things, even when we take painkillers, even when we rest, even when we do everything that we need to do, our energy does not get replenished in the same manner. It takes 2 to 3 times longer for us to get back to where we used to be. If I want something to happen, um, I have to do everything in my power to make sure that the energy is up to its maximum point before I have an activity, because the activity will bring me back down. And then when I, after the activity, I still need to set a day or two of rest aside just so that it goes back up. And sometimes it's even after a full day of rest, it's only halfway. I need 2 or 3 days to finish going. Um, so I think that's what's happening. I know that's what's happening with my body, and I know that this is the game plan I have to put together in order for me to do what I want to do this weekend. Um, I also know that if I'm going to exude a lot of energy, that I have to put space aside. Today, I had to call my doctor's appointments and move everything that I have planned on Monday to later on in the week. And I've left most of my Tuesday morning aside as well. But that's it. That's today's stuff, you guys. So, as usual, peace and love and prosperity. Oh, before I forget, shout out to my Auntie D. After when I woke up, she gave me a call today to tell me how proud she was of me. She lives in Ohio and I'm in Toronto, and I don't get to see her very often, but she's been watching me every single day since I started my monologues, and she is the one family member in my life that has always motivated me, has always inspired me, has always told me to be that minister for God. She's always telling me how proud she is of me, and right now she's encouraging me to continue with this monologue. So if you know people that have chronic pain, fibromyalgia, send them this way. Let them let's have conversations, or um, let them know that I'm doing this monologue and they can follow along. She recognizes that in me doing these monologues, in me trying to go out and get information and be resourceful, she recognizes that it's assisting with reducing and limiting the depression that I have, which is another thing that fibro fighters have, because we have to deal with adjustment and loss of who we used to be and change in a lot of things. And um, I will have a blog on depression because I've suffered with it, and I really want to have that conversation because mental health is another thing that the world is starting to become more aware of. But in relation to it being with the fibromyalgia, it's two different things. But again, shout out to Auntie D. I love you. I probably couldn't have made it this far without you sometimes. And thank you for always having my back. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for praying me up. Thank you for being the wild, crazy woman that you are. Okay. Otherwise, you guys, I'm heading out. Peace, love, prosperity. And until tomorrow, have a good day. Bye.